Now, Facebook has released its new best practices and you wanna have a look at them if you are running any ads whatsoever. Now, what these are the best practices that Meta advise you use in your ad account right now to get your best results possible. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to talk to you about these best practices called the Performance 5, and basically I'm going to tell you about like how we use them, my honest opinion about them, and whether or not you should use them all, and basically break them each down by segment. So let's get started. I got these pulled up on my computer right here, and I'm just going to walk you through them. So right here, you can see this article from Meta where they show you the Performance 5, and they have this video. I'm going to link this article down in the description so you can have a look at it. But right here you can see them. Making these 5 changes to your ad campaigns can help increase ad performance, lower cost per action, and connect your ads with people most likely to buy. Because we know Meta has the best algorithm, and with these Performance 5 use cases, you will be sure to follow their best practices and have the highest chance of succeeding with your ads. And you can see them right here. So let's start. You can see Conversion API, Simplified Ad Sets, Broad Targeting, Mobile-friendly video, and ad testing. And let's break them down. So Conversions API, connect your audience, connect your conversion data to power ad performance, minus 30% cost per action with the Conversion API implemented. So let's dive deeper. It's basically super easy to implement, especially if you have Shopify. It's one click of a button. You need to add the Meta Facebook app, and within there you need to select the data sharing settings, put it all on a maximum. I will share a guide right down below where you can set up the Conversion API to make sure that your pixel is firing correctly. It's super easy. You have a guide here for Shopify, WooCommerce, WordPress, etc. And it's super easy to set up to make sure that you have the latest Conversion API set up. What I do advise you to get the best match quality on your pixel is to use like a tool like Blotout. I will link them down below as well, where it basically improves your match quality, because sometimes for some clients that we run ads for, the quality of the events like purchase, initiate checkout, add to cart can be a bit lower, and you actually want to make sure they're as high as possible. It's rated at a scale of 1 to 10, and sometimes it dips below like 7 or 6. Then you want to make sure that you get that implemented, and you will definitely see a boost in the accurateness of the data, and also of course the data like the ad platform sends back to your Shopify, and you will get better ad results basically because the data is more accurate and Facebook is able to find more people that will buy our products. So that's the Conversion API, super simple setup. And before we dive in further, basically the Performance 5 is a follow-up on the Power 5, which was the previous like best practices from Facebook. So right here you can see it was dynamic ads, auto advanced matching, account simplification, campaign budget optimization, and auto placements. Now these are of course pretty much make sense. Auto advanced matching is kind of make sure that the pixel is set up correctly. Simplified account structure is something we follow for most of our accounts, actually all of them, to make sure that the account is super simplified setup. Campaign budget optimization obviously we use for all clients to make sure the budget is distributed as effectively as possible. So basically these are like kind of like mostly the same, but a bit like outdated, because they also have like their advanced shopping campaigns, automatic placement. It's kind of like obvious. Dynamic ads is something we sometimes use, as they're displaying it right here. There are catalog ads. Sometimes use them for client with a big list of SKUs. So that's just like the Power 5 that was like the predecessor of the Performance 5. So let's dive into the second one, is Simplified Ad Set. Consolidate your ads, ad sets, and campaigns for improved efficiency and performance. 41% lift in conversions with a simplified ad set when tested by the women's accessory brands Lily Sadugi. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly. But yeah, simplified ads. Obviously, combining similar meta ads and campaigns will help you spend your budget effectively and can reduce your cost per action when using the conversions objective. Obviously, we use like a simplified setup in our campaigns because it's super easy to make sure that you have like a couple campaigns, maybe 1 or 2 per business objective. So if you're selling 3 products, want to make sure that you isolate those products in a single campaign. So you will see, you can get like the spend behind each product, for example. So right here, you can see some information about the simplification of ad sets. When you run similar ad sets at the same time, each one will get fewer opportunities to learn and therefore fewer results. Obviously, they might compete with each other, there might be some overlap, so you want to make sure that you have like one ad set with the same kind of ads. Sometimes what we tend to do is that we set up like a CBO with some tests. We test in dynamic creative, so we have 3 videos or 3 images, and from there we have 2 headlines, 2 main text and 1 description in there. So that's like 12 variations in total. And from there we extract the best performing post ID, and from there basically add it into our control ad set. And that setup I have right here. So we have like a testing CBO which carries all of these ads, and in there we have different DCTs, so 1, 2, 3. And if we get like 1 winner creative out of this DCT, we take the post ID and move it into the control ad set so it can gather all of the social proof, and we use that creative in our winning campaigns as well if we need to build out a new campaign, or sometimes we add a scaling campaign with an advantage shopping setup. So that's usually how we do it, and to make sure that we gather all of the social proof, because that's a very big mistake that we see being made in a lot of ad accounts, that they don't use post IDs, and it's crucial because you can collect all of the social proof, and an ad with more social proof will lead to more conversions and more trust from your end customer. So and it's super easy. Oh, that's the wrong one. Keep the same creative in the same ad set to make sure that you obviously have no overlap in your audience right here. So super simple, of course. It's pretty self-explanatory to make sure that you have that set up. Broad targeting as well. You want to make sure that you have the biggest net to catch your ideal customer. With interest targeting, of course, they might perform better in the short term, but in the longer term, we've always seen broad targeting perform best because you're not putting any cap on your audience, unless obviously you're excluding your past purchases, but that shouldn't be that big of an audience. We always do an exclusion of the past buyers and also the Klaviyo integration that directly links to Shopify, and that's just like a must-have to make sure that you are targeting new customers basically with your ads. So yeah, would you suggest for all brands to use broad targeting only? Mobile-friendly videos, obviously make sure that the dimensions are set up correctly. You have, what we tend to use is for videos on the feed, we use 1080 by 1350, so it's a 4:5 video for feed. We don't use that like square video a lot because with the 4:5 you can capture more of the feed real estate basically, because it's a bigger frame and you can capture the audience better. And for story, 1080 by 1920 to have that story format. And obviously reach more customers with mobile-friendly video. Run a mix of videos and static images. I would suggest in like one DCT, the way we test, have one type of video or image. So you have DCT with videos and you have DCT with images, because you don't want to mix and match those. It doesn't tend to perform super well for us. Other people might have seen something different, but that's just the way we like to run these DCTs, to have like videos and images separately. Create vertical videos, like I mentioned, have the right aspects. Keep videos to 15 seconds or less. That's something I don't really agree with, because we have seen a lot of success with longer videos up to like a minute or something, which are performing really well because you can add into more feature benefits, customers, feedback, etc. And that tends to perform really, really well. So connect with customized creatives. Yeah, that's pretty pretty straightforward. Obviously, if you want to dive into deeper here, there's some more information, but the general gist of it, I think I've covered. So going back to the last point is ad testing. Run tests to confidently choose winning strategies. Kind of vague, don't really know why that matters, but yeah, obviously you need to always be testing. There is one caveat though. I was recently speaking to my team about this, that you don't want to test like all the time just for the sake of testing. Like if the performance is really good, you don't want to like interfere with the algorithm. Like if you're getting like purchase below your target CPA, why not let the ad just sit there and not make like daily changes in the ad account? Like it can only harm the algorithm that you're currently tapping into. Like just like take a chill pill, let the ad account marinate itself and let it just run for a couple of days without making any changes. Like obviously you can drop in a new test, but if the performance is well, why drop in a new test? You can obviously increase your budgets of your winning campaigns. That's of course something you need to do, but don't get too crazy. Like let it sit for like a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days, and if performance goes down a bit, then obviously introduce some new creatives. But don't get to the mistake to like doing too many things inside the ad account at the same time. So let's drill a bit deeper. Compare your ads with A/B tests focused on creative targeting or ad set structure to understand which strategies will work best for your campaign. I don't really test with the A/B feature in Facebook ads. We usually just, like I mentioned, run a DCT and then add a new DCT in the CBO if we have a new test going on. And that's just the way we like to test creatives. Just like see if the new test can outperform the old test, and from there we'll see the distribution in budget. So if the new test is able to pick up more budget, then obviously we'll know it's a winner and it can outperform the previous test. And if it doesn't get a lot of budget, we just kill it, because yeah, in the end it cannot support a lot of volume and Facebook doesn't see it as like a winner creative. So yeah, that's kind of like it. Like run test for at least 2 weeks. We usually keep tests for like 5 to 7 days just to like see how it performs over like a weekly basis. Obviously for 2 weeks it can definitely bring down the results a lot, so we do want to be more active in the ad account. So yeah, that's kind of it. I think the performance 5 is good, but a lot of these things are pretty common and self-explanatory for us as an agency that's well experienced, manages over multiple 6 figures in monthly ad budget. But maybe for beginners or brands that are just getting started, it can be really helpful to make sure that you're following the best practice out there. But I think overall, I think you should follow these. Some things I don't really disagree with, like the A/B testing, etc. That's just a bit like personal preferences. But overall, I think these are good and you should definitely follow these to make sure that you're following the best practices from Meta, because they're not giving them for no reason. They've built this for a reason because they know the algorithm works the best if you follow maybe 90% of it. So you are ahead of the game if you are using these, because a lot of marketers don't know about them and they are just like winging it in the ad account. So recommend using them. Definitely, if you have some questions about these, how to implement them as effectively as possible, reach out to me in the comments below and I would love to answer them, any all questions. And leave a like down below, comments if you're using them, what you think about them, if there are any things that you would not use from these Performance 5 best practices, and subscribe below as well. So thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'm catching you in the next one.